All right, so dash cams on motorcycles. I think they're something that's important because anything that can help you, it's not necessarily going to help you stay safe, but if something does happen, it's going to help you prove, innocence, guilt, whatever it is. Also, maybe you are just someone that wants to possibly record some of your motorcycle riding, but you don't have a lot of cash because GoPros, Insta360s, things like that, anything that has really good quality, which we all want, but not all of us necessarily want to spend that kind of money because they're expensive, right? You do pay for quality, 100%. These guys here, Akeeyo, I have in the past used their motorcycle dash cam, which was a front dash cam and a rear dash cam and had a little screen tied into your battery, etc., etc. It was the whole recorded everything to a memory card, etc., etc. It was good. I recently replaced it because I replaced it with the Qiji CarPlay AIO5 Lite unit, which is not inexpensive by any means. You're looking at, I think right now, US based, like $500, but it's kind of a whole thing. And what I had learned is that Qiji is like a sub brand or a sister company of Akeeyo. So they're basically the same people, I think. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure. They sent me this. They asked if I wanted to try it. And this is the Akeeyo AKY-710S motorcycle or bicycle, whatever, camera. Shoots in 4K 28 frames. That's a weird number. 2K 55 frames. Still a weird number, but okay. 142 degree wide angle. That's kind of nice. That's really wide. Has IP67 rating. It's 5 megapixel photos, has loop and emergency recording, parking brakes, rechargeable, has a 64 gig card included, must just come with the package. And it's right now, and it's normally $150, which honestly, if it's even slightly decent as a dash cam, that's not a bad price at all. But look at this, $50 coupon brings it down to like 99 bucks US. And because it just is a mount, and I believe, yeah, it's based on the picture, this just plugs into the USB port. So if you have a USB port on your bike, or if you have a USB port, like a portable battery that you want to bring like a tank bag with, it's good. And I believe, I'm not 100%, I believe that it has an internal battery so that it will run a little bit off of that battery. I'm not sure. It says, I thought it said somewhere. I could be completely wrong. Anyways, we're going to crack open the box. We'll look at the specs. I'm going to take it out in the next couple days just to see what the image quality is like. I take it out today, but it's currently snowing because that's what happens in the springtime here in Canada. Okay, so right now, 46 reviews. This thing, I'm pretty sure it just came out. 46 reviews, 4.5 stars. That's fantastic. What does it say here? Here's some images. Here's some info, I guess, on the all directions, day or night. Day or night. Yeah, crazy, right? 142 degrees has, I think it says HDR. They say WDR, I think it is on there. A Sony IMX335 image sensor. Anything else here? See, it says IP66 here, but on the thing it said IP67. On the box it says IP66. I'm going to say maybe it's IP66. Wi-Fi, so it's got Wi-Fi stuff. So it does say over-the-air updates. That's nice. There's apps for both Android and iOS. I'm not sure how it gets its like GPS information, if there's an actual GPS, because I thought I saw it here, maybe on this somewhere. I could be, talking out my own butt. Yeah, it says GPS option. I'm not sure what that even means, GPS option, but I'm guessing that as of now, maybe it just pulls GPS off your phone. Compact but amazingly versatile. That's what you want, amazingly. So yeah, right here, look, you can zoom in. It has an 1800 milliamp hour, so it can record for 5.5 hours by itself. Parking monitor equipped with a G sensor, GPS tracking cable sold separately, okay, over the air, dedicated app, etc., etc. That's very cool. You know what? It seems for 99 bucks right now. 99 bucks. Come on. What are you going to get for 99 bucks? That records 4K 28 frames. I don't 28 frames. What? I don't get it. Or 55 frames in, what was it, 2K? Something like that? Yeah, something like that, right? That's kind of strange. Anyways, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm sure it's going to be fine. This is the box. AKY-710S Pro Bike camera. Again, some specs on the side here if you're at all interested. See, this is where it's kind of deceiving, right? It says 4K, 55 frames. Well, no, 4K, 28 frames, 55 frames in 2K. They're not kind of putting them together, but they're not lying, but they're also just kind of twisting the truth a little bit, you know. What else does it say here? GPS optional, 1800 milliamp battery. Has an app, easy installation. Yep, this is going to be, I'm guessing, do I have to download? Do I have to download the app? Let's just try to download the app before we start, because I think that's kind of important. So, because I've had the Akeeyo stuff before, so I am going to just re-download that, and we'll see if that sets up. Sweet deal. Yes, good. You get, oh, does this have, oh, they sent me one with the GPS. I think that's the GPS module. That looks like a GPS module. They sent me one with a GPS module. Isn't that nice of them? Thank you, guys. A whole bunch of different mounts, including what looks like GoPro style mounts. That's awesome. So if you want to mount it like a GoPro, you can. A bunch of Allen keys, a whole bunch of different ones. That's neat. What else here? Little screwdriver, which a bunch of screws. This is going to be your handlebar mount right there, which again is super cool. Another clamp mount, depending, I guess, on what kind of mount you want. This is your charging cable. This must be like the little screws. See how it's there? So if you kind of want to have it connected all the time, you can screw this in to the device so that it's a little more permanent, so that it's probably a bit of waterproofing as well. This here, you guys can see it right there. This, I'm sure, is a mirror. So you attach it to your mirror, and then you can put your camera there. So it's a mirror mount. That's kind of nice. There's your manual. Yes. Really small fonts, but big manual. Okay. And last but not least, I'll just put this all somewhere. Here is the camera. So it's kind of like, you know, I say back in the day, but there used to be more people that mounted them this way. They were the long, like tubular. One of my very first action cams I ever had, long tubular one. I think it was called the Ion Speed or something like that. 4K UHD Pro Bike camera. So on the back here, this is where you and I can see. That's a good waterproof flap. SD card, which I'm guessing there is one in here already. Yes. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. A little hard to get out though, just based on where it is. It's a little, that's not coming out easy. I'm telling you, it's just because of the way it's in there. Definitely need your some fingernails or something else to get a hold of it. That is, I'm just saying that I appreciate that you gave me a card. There it comes. But wow. So that's just a no name, but it is 64 gigs or so it says. Okay, that's going back in there. So putting it in, excellent. Taking it out, not so excellent. USB-C, but that is a lovely waterproof seal on there. That's nice. Akeeyo. There is your tripod hole. There is something else. Okay, and a little sticker on the front. So the question now is, does this have any power to it? My guess is that's going to be the button. So let's bring up the app just to see, because I'm also wondering if there'll be any like firmware updates. So agree, yes. Add a camera, okay. Allow while using, yes. Okay, you have not added a camera. I know, I'm trying to. Install the camera and power it on, all right. Does this have any power? Oh, vibrated. It's got a little red light flashing. Select camera, Wi-Fi. Oh, I gotta go into Wi-Fi. Hold on. I'm trying to do this all live for you guys. I'm going into Wi-Fi. Is there anything that shows up in the Wi-Fi? Anything that shows up in the Wi-Fi? Oh, there it is. Akeeyo AKY-710S. It just takes a little bit of time. What is the password? I'm gonna go with the standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it says join, so we're just going to stop there. And that is it. Excellent. So you can change that possibly, I guess, if you want. And then you're coming back here, trying this add camera again. It's there. I'm there with you. Haha, wait. Boom. That's it. Added. That's all. You know? So, download files. Yes, camera settings. It's just some sound recording, video resolution. So again, you got 4K 28, 2K 55, 2K 28, 1080p 55, 1080p 28. So we're gonna keep it at 4K 28 for now. Loop recordings, it's 1 minute. That's too short. 3 minutes we'll go. Exposure compensation, I always like them to be a little on the dark side, so I'm gonna go down a little bit. Image rotation, I don't think so. Timestamp, sure. Anti-flicker, 60 Hertz, which is good for here. Collision sensing, we have low. Parking monitoring, I guess if you wanted to, you could turn that on. There's your Wi-Fi and your Wi-Fi password. You can change it if you so choose. And that's that. Anything else? It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. I guess the only other thing is that, like, I would say color-wise, it's pretty decent. I'm down with it. If I turn this to the side, does it go full screen? It does. So yeah, so color-wise, I'd say it's actually doing very well. Now, there's no image stabilizer or anything like that in here at all. But, and I have it, again, I have it set to minus 0.3 for exposure. So I always like it a little dark outside, so I get a little bit more color in like the sky and stuff like that. But, okay, I'm down. That's all right. Cool. And it does have all the stuff in the bottom. It has today's date and time, stuff like that. So that's good. It must be just grabbing that from the phone. And turn that around to me. Yeah, no, that looks decent. Again, you know what? What I would hope. This is the only thing I would hope. And if they did this, that would be really good. Is that if they took this and actually put some kind of image stabilization in it, even if it was electronic, that would be really good. Especially how wide it is. Because the image quality, even in this light here, which, you know, it's decent, but it's not like outdoor light. That's all right. That's okay. All right, let's go. Let's pause for me, not for you, but pause. And once the snow melts in the next, hopefully, couple days, then we'll take this out, and that'll be good. That'll be good. All right, guys, stay tuned. Hold on. Okay, so we've had a chance to take this camera out for a ride to see what it's like, and definitely doesn't have any stabilization. So one of the things to realize right out of the gate is that if you are looking for this to be sort of a action cam replacement, you know, especially something that goes up against a GoPro or a DJI or an Insta360 camera, you're getting zero stabilization versus cameras that have some of the best stabilization on the market. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. But really, this is designed as a dash cam, and you can kind of tell because as soon as you power it on, number one, it just starts recording. Number two, of course, is that, you know, there's no like turn it on, turn it off. It really is plug it in, it starts recording, or power it up and it starts recording. It's designed to just kind of capture the things around you. The other thing too is that, as far as I can tell, it is recording in 4K based on the clarity of the image. I would say it's not being up-res, but just like a lot of dash cams that you would see on motorcycles or in cars or anything like that, the compression is fairly high. Right, and because the compression is fairly high, there are going to be some compression artifacts, especially in anything that's fast moving. So the bonus of it being mounted in or on a motorcycle is that it's pretty stationary. You know, you're going to probably just have it facing forward. You may have it facing backwards depending on what you're trying to record. But, you know, you get that forward motion, so there's not a lot of up and down, so you won't see a lot of distortion. But in anything that has a lot of complex things in the image, you'll definitely see some compression artifacts inside there. But again, to kind of be expected, we see this a lot in just dash cams overall. And I think one of the big things is that they want you to be able to record a lot on your SD card before it starts deleting older footage to make room for new footage. So, you know, take that as it is. Again, it's not an action camera replacement. It is a motorcycle dash cam. Other than that, the image quality was pretty decent. It can have a bit of issues with exposure, especially in the sky. Not that we're overly concerned when we're doing dash cam recordings how the clouds look. It does seem to capture everything kind of at street level, in front of you at the horizon level with good exposure. There were a few times that we drove by, or I drove by a car, and was a license plate seeable? Sure, it's you can make it out, which is good. Colors, again, it's not an action camera, so if colors is something that you're concerned with, or this something that you really want to use to do travel videos or motor vlogging videos or whatever it is, spend the extra money and get an actual action camera. But the bonus of this is, especially if you have it plugged into USB on your motorcycle, the moment that USB port gets power, or the moment that the camera gets power, it kind of just fires up and turns on, which is good. You don't even have to think about it. Just keep it mounted and plug it in, and you're off to the races. Unplug it and it powers off, and just like a dash cam. I had seen some videos that were posted by other users, mostly somewhere in Asia, and there was definitely some I was really looking at. There was like 2 different videos that I had looked at. One, the image was shaky, just like mine was, and the other one was, it was actually quite stable. And I do think that you're never going to get stable footage. You may be able to run it through like a video stabilizer to help, but it really is, again, going to depend on the motorcycle that you're riding. If you have a motorcycle that shakes a lot, then it's going to be really shaky footage, right? If you're riding a big cruiser or something like that the handlebars are constantly kind of doing this. I have some friends of mine that their bikes shake. This probably wouldn't be fantastic, just because the footage is going to be incredibly shaky, and with really shaky footage, you probably still won't be able to necessarily see things like license plates, because the camera is constantly doing this. If you have a motorcycle that is not one that shakes a lot and vibrates a lot, then I think you're going to be, you're going to do okay. Now, the other thing is that I had this mounted on my handlebars, but it doesn't mean that you can't, because it has just a standard tripod mount on the bottom. It's not something that you could be like, I'm going to mount this to the frame of my bike, or I'm going to mount this to the front fender, or whatever it is, and find somewhere that's a lot more stable, a lot less vibration. That will definitely help, because that vibration is going to play a big role. It does come with enough, I think, different mounts, and because it is tripod mount based, there's a lot of GoPro style mounts that we can find that you can stick somewhere or get it somewhere and then convert that to an actual tripod. Those little tripod to GoPro adapters are really inexpensive, and if you have GoPros and stuff like that, you probably have a bunch of them sitting in a drawer somewhere. I think though, I think it's somewhere between $99 and $150 is what I've seen the price for these. It's probably one of the least expensive front facing or rear facing. It's just a single camera, but dash cams out there for your motorcycle. And I do think a lot of us that ride motorcycles, having a dash cam, probably not a horrible idea, especially something that just constantly runs. Because, for instance, for me, I do run a lot of action cams when I ride, but they're not riding all the time. They're not running all the time, because they chew up a lot of space and it's a lot of footage to go through. So having something that is on your bike that can detect like an accident, can detect when somebody's playing with your bike, if someone does knock it or whatever, even when you're not there, can really be beneficial. And this one has a really nice price point. Plus, at its price point, the video quality is definitely something that is pretty good. Especially when you watch, I think it was a video that came out a couple days ago, same price, coming in around that $90 to $100 mark, and the video quality was very questionable. Very questionable. All right, guys, this is the new Akeeyo AKY-710S.
Yeah, I think at that price point, if you're looking for a dash cam for your bike and you don't want to spend, a couple $100 or more, or even have all that wiring, because it does have the option to have it wired, but you can just run it off a battery if you want, or you can run it off a USB port. It's got a great ton of options and a lot of mounting choices as well. And I think in that aspect, it's good. All right, my friends, I will put links down below if you guys are interested, and we will see you guys next video. Later.